Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Adventure Era.
If you watch our previous episode, you'll know that the journey to Underberg hasn't exactly been smooth. Between an oil leak, loose brake hardware, and even hitting an owl that damaged our headlight and indicator, we were honestly just grateful that the Hilux was still running.
But this adventure is something that we've been looking forward to for a long time.
We're driving one of the most iconic mountain passes, not just in South Africa, but in Africa, Sani Pass.
Sani Pass connects South Africa with Lesotho and climbs from the foothills of the Drakensberg all the way to nearly 2,900 meters above sea level.
And at the top sits the famous highest pub in Africa, but reaching it is the real adventure.
We left Underberg just after 8 a.m., hoping to find a spare shop to replace the headlight and indicator that the owl destroyed the night before.
The shop didn't have the parts we needed, but we managed to get the replacement bulbs, which was good enough to keep us going.
With that small victory behind us, we pointed the Hilux toward the mountains and started the drive to Sani Pass.
The tar road from Underberg to Sani Pass is a stunning tar road, but once you reach the Sani border gate, the tar ends and the real adventure begins.
From that point forward, a 4x4 vehicle is mandatory. Other vehicles aren't allowed past the gate because the pass becomes a steep gravel mountain road with tight switchbacks and serious drop-offs. For us though, Sani Pass actually wasn't too difficult.
Maybe it was driver ability, or maybe it was just the old Hilux.
Or maybe we just fought the pass on a really good day. At the South African border post, the process is simple. You will need your passport stamp before leaving the country. It's also important to carry your vehicle registration papers. And if the vehicle isn't registered in your name, you'll need permission from the owner. If the vehicle is financed, include a letter from the bank. If you are traveling with children, remember to take their birth certificates with. It's also important to remember to check the specific border post's operating hours. Once the paperwork is done, the real climb begins. The pass climbs over 1,300 vertical meters over the 8 kilometers, starting around 1,544 meters and ending at 2,876 meters. The views begin almost immediately. Sani Pass winds its way up the Drakensberg through a series of tight switchbacks carried into the mountains. As you climb higher, the landscape becomes more dramatic. Towering cliffs, deep valleys, and endless mountain views. It is known for unpredictable weather, including snow in the winter, dense mist, and dangerous driving conditions, with numerous car wrecks along the route. The pass was essentially a pack mule trail in 1913 before being pioneered by car in 1948. It is also known as the Barrier of the Spears or the Roof of Africa, which offers dramatic rugged scenery. And this is also where we hit our first mechanical surprise.
About a quarter of the way up the pass, the Hilux started losing power. It began spluttering and then it died completely. Not exactly what you want going up a mountain pass.
Knowing what our Toyota handbrake was capable of, the first thing we did, we started to look for a rock to put it behind the wheel to ensure the bakkie doesn't move. Then I opened the bonnet, looking through the engine bay to see if I find anything strange. I noticed that the fuel filter had no fuel in. That was strange as the bakkie was full of fuel. I thought that the mechanical fuel pump had failed, but I recently replaced it with a new fuel pump just before the trip. But after a closer look, I realized what actually happened.
So what happened was, the fuel pump relied on engine RPM to suck fuel from the fuel tank. Because we were enjoying the amazing view up and down the pass, the engine RPMs dropped too low and the fuel pump struggled to suck the fuel on the steep uphills. So all I had to do was reprime the pump and keep the RPMs a little higher. Everything worked perfectly, for now. But the Hilux wasn't finished testing us yet. About 3/4 of the way up the pass, I started hearing a strange noise coming from underneath the bakkie. It sounded like one of the universal joints on the prop shaft.
Luckily, I didn't know this at the time.
At that moment, I had a choice to make: turn around or keep pushing forward.
And with the switchbacks in sight, of course we kept going. Just a few fun facts about Sani Pass. The pass is not named for the San people. It's an easy mistake to make. Many visitors and quite a few locals assume that the pass is named after the San people, the original inhabitants of Southern Africa. The only problem is that by the time the pass was established, the San people were mostly long gone, just a handful living in small communities. The first car up Sani Pass was actually a Willys Jeep. Ex-Spitfire pilot Godfrey Edmonds spent over 5 hours guiding his Willys Jeep up what was still just a barely there donkey path. We took just over 30 minutes to complete the whole of Sani Pass. There are also animals on the pass, so you can look out for eland, vultures, rock hyrax, and baboons. We stopped at the lookout point for a few photos. This is definitely one of the best views that you'll ever experience. With the photos taken, it was time to tackle the switchbacks. The pass features 13 intense switchbacks, with the top 11 often noted for being particularly steep and tight. While the average gradients are manageable, large sections reach a steep 1:3 ratio. Another lookout point meant more photos, and we used every opportunity we could get to enjoy this view. We were now ready for the very last part of Sani Pass. At the top of Sani Pass, you'll find the Lesotho border post. Here you'll need your passport stamped again to enter Lesotho. You'll also need to pay a small road or border fee, which can be paid in South African rand. You will pay 100 rand per person, as well as a 50 to 90 rand fee for your vehicle. Be sure to take cash, as the card machine isn't always working. Once through the border, you're officially in the Kingdom of Lesotho. Just a short drive from the border post sits one of the most famous stops in southern Africa, the highest pub in Africa at Sani Mountain Lodge, sitting at 2,874 meters above sea level. It's a place where travelers from all over the world gather to celebrate making it to the top. The views from up here stretch across the mountains of Lesotho and the Drakensberg. And after everything the Hilux had been through, a Maluti beer at the highest pub in Africa felt well deserved.
But our adventure didn't stop here. From the top of Sani Pass, we were heading even deeper into Lesotho.
Our destination for the night was Motibong Lodge, but that drive is a story for another video.
If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and join us for the next video of the Adventure Era.